red, specifically Fire Alarm Red. It's not an official shade, but still, it's very bright and vivid. Don't leave, this isn't a video essay about red. No, in this video I'm going to be designing an original character based off this color, and I'm going to make her cyberpunk, because why would I make a character and then not make her cyberpunk? Hello everyone, I'm Zai. I've been a digital artist for 5 years and I really like making new OCs and maybe giving them drama. Anyway, I like specifically designing characters based off random things, not objects per se, but for the sake of this video, colors. The only reason I'm mentioning this next bit is for commitment. I really want to finish this series, but motivation is hard for me. So consider this my dedication to seeing this 10 video series all the way to the end. And here are the list of colors I'm going to be doing. Please get excited because I'm not. Fire Alarm Red, Safety Cone Orange, Hazard Zone Yellow, Electric Jade, Cyberware Green, Hazardous Waste Turquoise, Bioluminescent Spore Blue, that one is a mouthful, Deadly Deep Sea Blue, Laser Beam Purple, and Neon Light Pink. Friendly reminder that if you are watching these in order as a series, I'll be uploading a full-length version once the series is complete. If you're from the future, tell me how it is, please. You can probably find this version now. Check for a link in the description. Put it there when they're all finished. You'll notice they all have a certain theme to them, other than none of them being real colors. They all sound vaguely sci-fi and cringe, but ignore that. Which is exactly how I got the idea for 10 cyberpunk characters. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start designing Fire Alarm Red. I think her character would have sharp angles as opposed to round ones to portray her as dangerous and strong. For her outfit, I'm thinking of giving her a small top with cutout sleeves and big pants. I think that really captures her character and who she is. Let's do a quick concept sketch. While I was having lunch, I decided I wanted her to be a fighter. Red is the color of blood, after all. In her concept sketch, I gave her a sort of fighting pose. She has a firm stance and her fists up. She has a red top with a black half jacket thing and a little chain necklace, accompanied by a pair of black pants with one pant leg missing. None of these are actual fashion terms, in case you didn't realize, but that's besides the point. She also has red caution tape around her left leg and some combat boots. And obviously I gave her red hair because she's red. Fire Alarm Red, who I'll be calling FAR for this part, because let's be honest, Fire Alarm Red is a pretty long name, needs a backstory. What's her job, her profession, or her hobbies? How did she end up in cyberpunk city with all these other colorful people? What was her childhood like? See if you can figure out what I decided for her career before the end of the speed paint of this next piece. Okay, on to the backstory. Far and her family, consisting of her dad and her older sister, moved to the cyberpunk city when Far was just a little kid. Far's sister was older than her, and she was never home much to play with Far or even talk to her as she got older. Once Far's sister left for college and new life awaiting her, and her father had to return to work, Far started having most of the day to herself. It was exciting at first, unlimited screen time and snacks, but she grew bored of not having any passions or anything she wanted to spend time on. She tried out a few things, from soccer to sewing to karate. Nothing really stuck until one day when she found a dress her sister had left behind when she moved away. Far was hesitant to try it on for fear of damaging the dress, but come on, you only live once and it's not like she was coming back for it. Far slipped into the dress and then put on a bit of makeup. If her dad wouldn't be home for hours, she could do whatever she pleased. She styled up her hair with bobby pins, even finding a mysterious pair of little red shoes to go with the dress. She never felt so happy as she was getting dressed up. Maybe it was pretending to be someone you're not, but to Far, she was finally expressing who she really was. She took many pictures of her outfit and hung them on her wall. They weren't great pictures, but she didn't want to be a photographer. She wanted to capture the moment she felt most free to be herself. She kept up the work all through high school before spending 1 year at a special program. After that, Far got the first lucky break in her life, a modeling contract with a prestigious fashion company. I hope you liked my very silly little story about Far. This picture is her on the cover of what I can only assume is the most popular fashion magazine in this cyberpunk city. I had to change the name because apparently the one I used was already a fashion magazine. Did you guess that she was a model? I wouldn't have guessed that given that I just mentioned that she was a fighter. Oh, but it seems like I forgot to mention her fighting pastime. Maybe there's more to Far and her family than meets the eye. Anyway, I got really carried away with this, so I think it's time to get back to drawing. For this next drawing, I wanted to give her a summer outfit. Unfortunately, summer break in my country is coming to a close. I wanted her to have a cute swimsuit with a leather jacket because that seems like something she would own. Now, this outfit is probably another outfit for a photo shoot, but she gets to take this one home afterwards. Apparently that's pretty rare in the modeling industry, so we'll just say it's part of a new line and it's not rare or hand-designed. There's not a lot to say about this drawing other than the fact that I had to trace one of the hand models because hands are freaking hard, okay? Like, nobody can do them, including AI, which is not good. Since I don't really have anything to add to this speed paint now, I'm going to be talking about the parts of the drawing that I think I can improve on next time. It's important to label these things so I can easily point out my flaws in my next drawing. Not that I had any trouble with that before. Alright, here we go. The anatomy in her shoulders is lacking. The collarbones do line up, but the shoulders look like a blob. They aren't rounded like real shoulders are, and they just seem straight and boring. The biggest thing that stands out as poor quality in this piece is the jacket. It's supposed to look like a leather jacket, shiny and plastic looking, but it doesn't really look that way. The wrinkles look fine, but for me at least, I'm not that good at drawing clothes yet. So the highlights and shadows seem to be a bit too blurry, inaccurate, quick. I don't really know the word, but I do want to improve my ability to draw leather clothing in the near future, hopefully. That was not a correct sentence. Some other little things that could be improved. The arm holding the lipstick might be slightly too long. The shading on the jewelry doesn't quite make sense with the light source, and the belt isn't very rendered. The hair and face do look quite nice, so I'm giving myself credit for those, and here is what the finished piece looks like. Next, I'm doing an illustration of her in the ring with her fists up, while I tell you a couple more things about her backstory. How did she get into fighting? Why and who is she fighting? Is it for money, success, fame? Okay, let's continue. Far wasn't always a fighter. She wanted to keep up what she was interested in, fashion and modeling. Her mother's side of the family had that all-too-cliche, mysterious past, and Far didn't dare take part in it. Her mother was a skilled fighter, knowing 7 martial arts along with her fencing skills. Though she never wanted to take part herself, Far always had the question in the back of her mind. Why does my mother know this? How did she come to learn these things, and why is she using them? Far never got an answer before her mother up and left forever. Fast forward 10 years, Far has just received her modeling contract with Melancholy, the biggest fashion company in Cyberpunk City. Her life is going well until she rounds a corner on her way home from work and finds herself face to face with someone she doesn't know. But they know her, and even though Far doesn't know it, they know her mother, and they want revenge. Far escapes, not cleverly, but rather she turns around and runs for the hills. She doesn't have time to deal with petty revenge plots. In fact, she has so little time to deal with retribution, she takes a mixed martial arts class that weekend. And the weekend after. And then on weeknights. She will not have someone from her distant family member's past ruin what she's worked for her whole life. It's funner than she thought it was, and she doesn't want to quit, even though her self-defense is solid now. So she keeps it up. She takes a new class twice a week until she's good at all of them. She even tells herself it's to keep up flexibility for her modeling career. But she knows the truth. It's fun, and she doesn't want to stop. But eventually, she decides it's time to end it. She already knows the material and it bores her. One day, on her way to the very last class she'll be at, she hears a loud crowd from inside a gated-off stadium. Not wanting to tear her clothes, she almost doesn't check it out, but come on, you only live once. She jumps the fence and peeks her head around the corner. Finally, Far's found something that may actually be a challenge. At first, they don't respect her ability. But she's a regular now and keeps everyone on their toes. They love fighting with her, and she loves upping her abilities after a stressful day at work. After I had finished the drawing, I actually went back and added another detail. She is supposed to look like she's actively fighting someone, but she doesn't have an eyelash out of place. Talk about unrealistic body standards for women. I decided to add some blood and smeared lipstick around her mouth and nose, and on her knuckles. And I think that this will be the last piece of this character for now because I have other things I must do and more videos to make, but you will be seeing her again soon, hopefully wearing a cute disguise. What do you think she would be for Halloween? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Far and my silly little stories about her as much as I love drawing her. Bye bye!